So my name is Dan Matfield. My background is largely in physics. I did physics and astrophysics, a bit more theoretical, and then started to get cynical and realize that it really wasn't my thing and it wasn't really something that was helping the planet. And so I took a little break, I surfed, I worked in farms in Australia, and got involved with some community-based wind projects. My area focuses on the actual wind resource, the measuring, the predicting, and even looking at the very long term. And so my project largely focuses on the different tools we have available to us, where are some of the shortfalls, where are some of the strengths of these, and how these can be applied to offshore wind resource, or at least floating. And so this is in terms of LiDAR systems, satellites, and then our numerical models, right? Which we've been using numerical models typically for wind resource for years, but when you get to these deep water domains and these deep water terrains where these floating turbines would actually be measuring, we have large uncertainties, and my project mainly addresses a lot of these concerns. If we want to actually have, or at least if I want my kids to have a relatively good life, right? The focus is to find some greener energy. Where the wind energy is going now and how the wind energy is growing, we're getting pushed to deeper and deeper water terrains, or at least terrains in general. And floating is kind of the next step. Especially for our topic, right, where we're dealing with floating wind turbines, there's a huge spectrum of topics that we have to cover. For example, I was saying that I do wind resource, but there's every other aspect of the actual aerodynamics, the economics of the system, and then even the design of the system itself. Each of our topics, even though they might not be relevant to my project specifically, they really give you an overall picture of the topic, so you're not just completely buried into your topic or into your project and never really seeing the other aspects or the other sides of things. And so this really gives you a full, well-rounded approach to this project, or to, for example, this subject in general, instead of just having the narrow design or this narrow knowledge that you would get typically from a PhD project. You're part of a team, and you're part of a larger organization, instead of just the normal idea of a PhD project where you're alone on some island. We're constantly traveling, we're constantly going to trainings together, to conferences together, to things that we actually get to be together as a group. And so we're going through this whole process together, and you don't feel as individual as I would typically, or doing a normal PhD project. At least for the short period, I plan on staying in the wind industry, and I plan on staying in Europe, right? I've already discussed with my supervisor of staying on with them at the National Research Center and doing either a postdoc or a part of a research or as another European project, and then see how it goes. So far, academia has been very enjoyable and has too many perks that are hard to pass up on, but the one thing that at least that this project gave me the opportunity to see was some of the industrial side.